yeah, we talk about it. All in the streets, yeah, we talk about it. What's going on in the church, yeah, we talk about it. How to make money, yeah, we talk about it. Facebook, yeah, yeah. IG, Twitter, everywhere. Ooh, it's free, yeah, you can catch CEOs. What can you see, talking about the hot topics, my girl, yeah. What can you see, talking about the hot topics.
What's up, Facebook? Listen, I haven't been here in a long time. It's probably been about 2, 3 weeks since I've been in this spot and doing a live. There's so much having went on since the last time I physically jumped on Facebook. So again, I just want to welcome everybody back to Hot Topics Pop-Up Show. In the green room, we got one of these young ladies. She's the boss, y'all. She's the boss. So we're not gonna keep her waiting long. But what we want to do is make sure that as y'all already know, we have to pay the cost, the woman that pays the cost to be the boss. We have to make sure that we are letting you know that Genesis Tax Legal and More, she makes sure that the Hot Topic Pop-Up Show is constantly running every every week. So again, Genesis Gillian and Co. Hot Topics Pop-Up Show, she's our proud sponsor. They do more than just taxes. You can find her at 954-279-0280. Again, that's 954-279-0280. Again, that's GillianandCo.com or GillianandCo.com at gmail.com. And her email address is gtlm2016.apponty.com. Again, because she works only by appointments. So again, my proud sponsor tonight, and probably every night, is Gillian and Co. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her in because she's just getting off the air. She's the hardest working woman in radio. Lady
Oh
Drina.
man. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Listen, this is Lady Drina. Um, I'm one of your biggest fans. You know that because I told you that before.
Listen, I think we biggest fans of each other then. Shoot, let's be fanish.
Because I'll be like, oh my God, that's Lady Drina, the Drive at 5. And, listen, I want y'all to know something. Lady Drina is a Stella Award winner. Yeah,
Whoop
Southland.
whoop.
She's been nominated Stella Award winner. This is not just anybody that's sitting having a conversation tonight with me. I remember I met her probably about 6 years ago in Orlando through Cora. Cora
Man,
probably.
listen. Cora I love Cora, man. Cora has since I've been in radio, man, I kind of followed Cora around. Like she took me underneath her little wings and she just took me around and introduced me to people and really
I lost Drina. She's back. Hold on a second, Drina. I lost you. Hold on. You back?
yes,
Okay.
okay.
You
I don't
were.
know how to stop phone calls from coming in.
Oh, yeah. People gonna call. Listen, one thing I learned about things is people see you alive and they'll call you, and they're
And
like,
they'll still call you.
yeah, they be like, she
Special.
lied. Let me call her. But it's okay. Let me go. Yeah,
Right.
pray for them. But the
We're
thing
gonna
is, that's you remember back in the day. I'm about to keep going in and out because whoever it is calling her is important, child. So
hey,
hold on. Let me see. She's back. You back, Drina?
let me figure out who's calling.
Okay. So I'm gonna take her out for a minute till she can figure out because someone's calling her. So listen, back in the day when we were basically in the industry, Pepe Hendricks would take us up under his wing and he would introduce us and open up doors for people so that we would be able to meet new people. So that's the way Cora operates. I don't know if you know Cora Miles Jefferson. I think I'm saying that right, Jefferson, Cora Miles. And that's the way Cora.
I got every
Okay, so she's still on the phone. So, and this is the thing. So, this is what Drina is talking about of how you build relationships and how you um, basically grow in the industry. So, again, we have Drina. Again, I told you she's the business person in the world. She's a business person in the business. So, but what having her tonight was just, it was a task, and you see her still working, even though she's not working no more. So let me just, while she does that, I just want to let you know that, again, I am Kenya C. Willa, GT Promotions, keeping it real in the gospel. and the Hot Topics pop-up show. So again, if you ever want exposure for your ministry, your music, or anything that you're doing, you can contact us. All right, let me see. She back. You back, Drina?
I'm back.
I can't see you. You're dark.
Oh, how do I fix that?
You have to go out and come back in completely again.
Okay, let me do it.
All right, so she's going to go out and come back in. So listen, if you guys are interested in promoting, marketing, and branding through the Hot Topics pop-up show, we provide exposure. You're looking to grow your brand, invest in your product, advertise your product, just let us know. We'd be more than happy to promote, market, and brand you right here at the Hot Topics pop-up show, so you can get exposure for your business or your event. So we just wait for Junior to come back in. Let's see. She's back. Let's see.
All right,
There you
we're
go.
back. Sorry, y'all.
Wait, now
When
we
I'm
can't
at
hear
the radio,
Drina. Hold on, Drina.
I'm here. You hear me?
Wait, so now we can't hear you. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Not can you, now we can't hear you. Hold on. So we have to have her to kick off and come back on because we can't hear her now. Hey Kelly, how you doing? We just trying to get Drina back in. Um, One thing I can tell you about these phones, when you get a phone call, it will throw the whole system off. But that's okay. We're gonna make this work tonight. So again, we want to give a shout out to Lady Drina, one of the hardest working radio announcers on this side of heaven. You can hear Silver, but I can't on my side. So I may have to do the phone thing. Hold on. She got a phone call, and the phone call knocks the sound out of outside on the studio. I know that All right, so let's see. Trina, I can hear you.
Yay!
Okay, so
Won't he work it
Drina,
out?
well, listen, America, Drina's on live. Do not call her for the next 10 minutes. I promise I'll
Please.
let her go in 10 minutes,
I
so that
think
we
it's
can work
because
this
I'm
out.
still at the radio station. Whenever I'm still here, they think I'm still working. So that's what it is.
So we got some people on tonight. We got Kelly Williams. We got Silver Sloan. Listen, I don't know if you know Silver Sloan. Silver
Listen,
Sloan.
I love Sybil. Yes.
Silver is like, that's my big keep it real sister. That's the one that she can make me cry. Silver would break you
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
She'd be like,
she
look,
her
I
motivational speeches, I don't get to log in all the time, but her prophetic motivational speeches and them prayers, man, I tell you, because I've had to personally inbox her and say, hey, I need a prayer for this. But God, I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so
listen. I was
I
on her
love it.
call the other night, and the call was supposed to be about the industry. She straight took us to church. We just went a whole nother route on the call. She just straight. It was an industry call, and we went straight into. She say, "Listen, I know that y'all came in here tonight to hear about industry, but I got to tell y'all this story." And she just went into,
Listen,
and I
industry turns into ministry when you got ministry all up in you. You can't run from
yes. Sybil took us to
it.
church, honey. She prayed, she prophesied, she spoke. Her daughter was healed. So it was just it went to, and then everybody she said, I better get off this call because I'm not in this place tonight. And she truly blessed me. So Sybil, I know this is not about Sybil tonight, but we love you, Sybil.
We
And
love
so
you,
that
Sybil.
so listen, so let's go back. So you met Cora, and Cora, like I explained, she took you up under her wing, and
Yeah, man, I've been knowing Cora now for a long, long time, and she's been doing some major things in our community for years, and always helping artists. And because I was an artist, a lot of people don't know that I was an artist for a long time. That's kind of how I met her, and so just seeing what she did for artists really impacted me and encouraged me to do more for artists as well, even as being an artist. So yeah, she took me everywhere. It didn't matter. She didn't feel like it was taking anything from her,
right.
to take me around. So I appreciate her.
Right, and that's what I just explained. I said, back in the day, that's what Pepe Hendricks taught us, that we have to be doorkeepers for the artists coming up under us. We have to be able to open the door and introduce people. I'm not saying it doesn't happen now, but it doesn't happen as much when you
And not
have
frequently,
people,
yeah.
people are saying, hey, this is this person, and this person can help you. And it doesn't happen as much as it used to happen because Cora have opened door. I remember I used to be rough around the edges. And Cora used to say, Kenya, you can't say everything you want to say.
She had to try to give you a little muzzle,
Yeah, Chorus to
bring
say,
it back in.
Kenya, I know you keep it real, baby, but you can't do that. Because when, you had this set of people like, oh, she too rough. Kenya just like, I'd be like, what? She was like, Kenya, you can't do that. And she started giving me the opportunity. She say, well, I'm going to sit you on my panels because you're full of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
you just say whatever you got to say. So she kind of
Yeah,
helped
she's
me.
had that talk with me before. So I
Yeah,
mean,
so we,
I can honestly understand. I used to have a thing where I spoke first and
thought later. You thought
asked
later.
and thought later. And so she was just like, no, that's not what we do. And I'm grateful for that though, because you don't have people that will really take you under their wings and teach you stuff like that. You don't always know, because I mean I'm young, way younger than Cora, and for her to do that is amazing. That's just wisdom. And but we also have to be people that can listen and make sure that what we are being taught
Right.
we implement.
Right. The constructive criticism. And I was able to, I
Exactly.
mean, in the beginning, I was like, and then she said, Kenya, I love you now. I say, yes, Cora. She say, but this group of people over here just think you too rough to be in position. But I need you to tone it down just a little bit. And I think that worked because if you remember back in the day, I kept it real, real. It was like,
Raw
whoa.
real, that's what it
Yeah, I
was.
was.
You was the raw real.
And now I think before I speak, sometimes I be like, I ain't gonna say that. Sometimes it be burning me up, but I be like, oh my God, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna just let that go and let it happen, and that's just it. So,
Hmm.
we love you, Cora. I know we spent the last 10 minutes talking about you. We love you,
That's all
Cora,
right.
because you guys, Sybil, Cora, these are the women that have paved the way for us in the
Listen, the
industry. These are the
Bible
women that are
says he called the older ones because they are wise. And
right.
so I'm grateful for those wise people being a part of my life.
Right. So we love y'all. But we're going to get back to Drina because Drina's busy and I'm holding her at work. So
It's
listen,
okay. It's okay.
Drina, tell us how you got here. I know that. How did you become artistry to now radio extraordinaire, Stellar Award winning, multi award nominated? Come to Atlanta, get your award and leave.
A whole mess. Okay. So most people that know me, I grew up in the church. My mom and my father were both ministers or pastors in the church, so I was a PK kid. Grew up doing praise and worship and all that kinds of stuff, singing. I sung in a couple groups. I did a lot of solo singing and stuff like that. I ended up getting married to a bishop, and so I went directly into ministry as a first lady, co-pastor, assistant pastor, all these weird titles and names that I've carried. Went into all of that. I also have been blessed with a prophetic mantle, and so I walked in a lot of different fields in my life. Music was easy for me because that was my passion. That's what I love to do. And so in ministry, when I was pastoring, we had a radio program for our church ministry. And so, me and at the time, my husband, we would have a broadcast that was called uh, something deliverance. I can't remember, but it was something deliverance about 8 or 9 years ago. And so that's kind of how I stepped out into radio with our ministry. And after we dissolved the ministry, I really wanted to do something for myself, kind of like a women's empowerment type thing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Can I just be real? I did not know. I just knew I needed to be on radio because my spirit just kept saying, you need to be on radio. And so I started a show. My first show was called Walking in Favor, and I was a broker. And most people don't know what that is. I wasn't a radio announcer. I wasn't a radio host. I was a broker, which means I paid
For your spot.
for radio spots. And so I came on every Monday and I paid for my spot. So every week, every Monday, I had a paid for a spot, and it was called Walking in Favor. Walking in Favor just blew up one day. I think it was my second show. My second show that I had over 7 years ago. My second show I had, Hezekiah Walker came into WOKB, and I'll never forget this. I was live on the radio, and Hezekiah Walker came in. He was best friends with our liaison that works here at the station, and he came in, and she was like, "Go in. I want you to meet Lady Drina and go in on her radio show." And he comes into the studio, comes right in and sits down, and I'm like, "That's Hezekiah Walker." I'm like, wait, I'm like, I'm all excited now. I don't know what to do. And so he was my first interview, and he was so gracious. I had never interviewed nobody before, and my first interview was Hezekiah Walker. I was
Wow.
like, this is amazing. And so from that day, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to interview, I wanted to push music, I wanted to push people, and and especially music that I love. I'm a quartet baby. I love quartet and worship music. Okay, that's my two favorites, quartet and worship. And so I wanted to be able to push music, and I just tell you, it just one thing happened after another thing, and it boomed. I was doing Walking in Favor for like 3 years, and it blew my mind. I was getting awards as a radio announcer. Like, I wasn't even a radio announcer yet, but I was getting awards as a radio announcer, and I hadn't even become a radio announcer at the time. And so it was just God steady saying, which path I needed to take. And so God kept putting me into paths. And at the time, when I first started all of this, I was a emergency medical and police and fire dispatcher. I did that for over 13, almost 14 years. And so all I knew was law enforcement. I've always been in law enforcement my whole life. And so, but I was used to radio because that's what dispatchers do. We talk on radio to officers, we talk on radio all day. So radio came easy. It came so easy for me. And I literally never went to school for radio production and all of that. Never had no real training for radio production. I came in here, and I was trained probably a week or two by Glenn Allgood. Glenn Allgood, he trained me. Chris Shaw showed me some things and stuff like that. And next thing I was know, I was a radio announcer
Right. So
within a
where did
matter
the
of a
Drive at
week.
Five? So where did the Drive at Five come from now? Is that because you switched over now
So,
to doing quartet, or
well, the 5 o'clock is for quartet only. Wednesday at 5 o'clock, the live drive at 5 is for the quartet on Wednesdays. But I do the live 5 praise party every day at 5, every day,
right?
and that's just my praise party. I love to praise. And so 5 o'clock is my jam session. That's my praise. And I do that every day. Wednesdays is dedicated to the quartet. And so I go Wednesdays only. I usually go live for that quartet blast. But I'm actually on air every day. And a lot of people think I'm only on at 5. I'm on air every day from 3 to 7. Every day from 3 to 7.
So listen,
I
I need all y'all to
only
tune in 3 to 7, 3 to 7, Drina's on from 3 to 7. And someone
yeah.
said to me, I said I was bringing you on. They're like, but don't you own an internet radio station? I said, let me tell you how this works. We are family.
Yeah,
We
and we
support
celebrate
each
each
other.
other.
We
Yeah.
celebrate each other. And the thing about it is, we in competition, not against each other, but we're bringing trophies back to South Florida and back to
Come
North
on,
Florida.
somebody. Let's bring it back home. Let's do this.
Listen, when Drina, listen, when I see Drina's on the ballot, I'm like, listen, we got to get this and bring this on back
We
on
we
this
coming
side.
home
We
with
coming
it.
home with it. When you win, I win. When I win, you win. Just like the
Yeah.
1 year that you looked at me, didn't know it was me, hurt my feelings.
Right, right. Man, you look so. Listen, let me tell y'all something. She came in there so super fly. I was like, "Is that Ken? You kind of double take my own self."
Look at her, she looked at me
I
like,
was like, "That ain't Kenya. That's
yeah,
Kenya."
That ain't every day. Y'all know I don't do
That's
that.
not every day.
That's
Kenya came in there, boy. She said, "I'm gonna show you what I'm working with."
yeah. I said that. I said this year. Well, I was nominated in two categories, and normally, I wear some pants and a blazer and some, nice shoes because I love some good shoes. But I said, you know what? This year, I felt because I involved my community of people, and what I started doing is promoting it for my friends and family to vote. And I went into my secular side. I have a show called Meet, Greet, Mix, Mingle, Chat, and Chew. So that's more of the secular side of friends. Let me tell y'all something about them club people. They are very competitive. You give them club people some stuff to do, they're going to tear your website down. So what I did was I say, listen, I need all y'all to vote for me, and I'm trying to get this award. And when I tell you, those people were voting and sending me. I voted every day. So I knew deep down inside that I was going to win. So I said, what should I do? Should I go in like Kenya or should I go in like Miss CEO?
CEO all day.
Listen, I came in with a hat on. I say, so,
I
and
was
the
like,
thing
that
is,
is Kenya.
and by the end of the night, it was like late. You remember it was late, and
Yeah, it
I
was
had to
really late.
slid down, and I was like, oh, I'm tired. And when y'all call my name, I really didn't hear it. Well, I tuned out Kenya Willis. When you say Kenya Willis, I be like,
I know you don't know who that is.
I was like, and then she was like, can you see what I was like? Oh, that's me. So that's how it is. We cheer each other. When you won the award in Atlanta, I was like, Drina.
Listen,
They was like,
I
oh
was
my God.
literally about to leave. We was in Atlanta for so long and I was exhausted. I had literally just left my son's championship football game. My son had a championship football game that day. I was live at his championship football game. Literally jumped in the car and drove to Atlanta right after his game. Drove to Atlanta. I had enough time to get dressed in the car. Hello, somebody. Let's talk about the real stuff. I have no time to get dressed in the car, jump out the car, and run inside. And so I was so exhausted. And so when the award came and they said my name, I was like, really? I was shocked. I was so shocked.
And
And
they was
so
like, they was like, oh my God, these Florida people is so. Cause you would have thought that Drina. Somebody said Drina won the lottery. I was at the top of the top of.
everybody
Listen,
went crazy. I was
we
like, what?
and then listen. Let me tell y'all what she did. She got back out her clothes and jumped in the car and got back on the. I
And
said,
drove right back home. I sure did.
I'm sorry. I rest my head to get to that place.
I literally came right back
She said, I got to
home.
be at praise and worship in the morning. I
Come on,
said,
play with it now.
okay.
We got church. I go to church.
She said, I got church in the morning. I
I
said,
got church in
well,
the morning. And I was
I
right
said,
there at church. I was a little late, but I made it.
and then listen, just to let y'all know, because this is not. I tell people, a pop up show is a conversation. We just talking. It's like FaceTiming. So we were in Tampa last year, the Tampa Bay Gospel Award.
Oh Lord.
Putting me and Drina together is a bad thing. That's very bad. Cause we
We
had so
had
much
Ray
fun.
Holmes with us.
Yeah, we just it's just we went to the IHOP and it just turned into a celebration of songs,
A
and
song. It was
it was just
amazing.
so
It was just
good.
good
So
fellowship, man. Friendship, fellowship. It was awesome, and you don't get that much in this industry. You don't have people, that you can absolutely just enjoy without worrying about something crazy, happening later. And so that's why me and you've been cool since the cool came in. So we.
because you already know we like so that's the thing, and everybody say, well, Drina work for a station and you own this. I say, child, listen, when I get a good song, I say, Drina, I'm sending you this song.
I'm sending you a song and I'll be like, hey, let's
Because
do it.
if
Let's
I'm
do
sending
it.
it to you,
Let's
I'm
do
like,
it.
Drina, I'm sending you this song. And when I tell you, when I
And
send
one
that
thing I'll
song,
say is I can trust the songs that you send me. I don't get no bad stuff. And so that's another good thing. You build relationships. And that's another thing I gotta say. You gotta build relationships with people. And when you build relationship, that's just like Kenya could have a amazing song from a local artist I've never seen in my life, but because we got a relationship and I
relationship.
believe in the quality of music that she uh plays that she supports, then I'm going to take it more seriously myself, and I'm going to say, let me go ahead and look at this song first. And then when I look at this song, I'm like, oh, okay, King got something to work with here, and that song goes into rotation.
And that's what people, and I tell people all the time, and I tell people, I say, you just don't understand the industry. When you have a relationship with radio, and I think that most people don't know the best relationship to have is with radio, because I say this, and I try to say it lightly. We play music as a filler. And I mean, I'm gonna just talk about my station. I ain't gonna talk about y'all. I'm gonna talk about Kenya. We play music as a filler. Understand? So what happens is we play those sponsorships pays the bills. Music is a filler so that
Yeah.
sponsorships can be played to make money. So what happens is you have to make sure that you're building relationships with a radio announcer so that you can go over and say, "Hey, Drina, I got this song. Can you listen to it?" And she'll
Right.
say, "Yeah." But if she don't know you, she like, "I don't know you from Alabama Apple. I'm gonna take this and put it in my bag and give it away at the next event." You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm saying
And I
me.
hate
I'm
to
saying
say
me.
it like that, but relationship is sometimes your absolute.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
just
another
it.
way to say it, but relationships is sometimes your absolute when it comes down to radio, and so and it can absolutely put money in your own pocket, because sometimes we pay people for things that we can absolute do ourselves. You don't really have to pay someone to build a relationship. You build your own relationship.
Yep. And with that being said, also there's some doors that you may not be able to open, but you got some friends that can open doors for you. And I think with it, I sit in a lot of events, and I'm just coming off top. I sit in a lot of events, and people walk by and they don't speak, speak whether they want to speak, and I'm like, yo, y'all know I got 260 radio announcers that I sit into workshops with every year. I'm part of the alliance and the gospel workshop of music professionals, and you speak to them and they kind of like, like, oh, okay, she just, you never know who's watching. You never
And
know
that's
what
that's why
door.
you just supposed to be a godly type person anywhere and everywhere you go. And
Yep.
you treat people the way you would love to be treated. And you won't have any of that mishap where you mishapenly uh be mean to the wrong person,
A
but
radio
they the
announcer.
right person.
Right. And you listen, let me tell you, my biggest experience was the Spin Awards. I'm going to tell you why that I would risk wearing a mask going to the Spin Awards again this year, because this is my first time. The first 2 years I wouldn't go. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go. I wasn't on the ballot. Last year I was on the ballot and I was shocked. I was like, oh God, this year I'm on the ballot for a couple of things. But one thing I liked about that is I was in the room with about 75 radio announcers.
Real announcers too.
Real, I'm not talking about the ones that's with the big radio stations that I probably couldn't get you. That's 10 slots. These 10 slots. But I'm talking about radio announcers that have those 10 slots, but also have another 10 slots that can slide you in and let you know
And
that you can get
majority
into
of them
rotation.
that was there was owners. They wasn't just
Right.
announcers.
They were
They
owners.
were owners of multiple
But
stations.
and when they were like saying, they was like, well, how many stations do you own? I was like, how many I own? I can barely keep this one going. I was like, I
Right,
own.
right. I'm like, man, I'm way behind.
Yeah, I'm like, I own one station. It was like, oh yeah, well, we got to get with you because by now you should be on. I say three. I can't afford the one I got. How I was at three? But the thing is, we sat in a room, and what hurt me to my heart was there were no artists to interview.
No
There were
artists.
five artists in that.
Yeah.
Five artists. There were like Michael Lee, and four other artists that was in that room. So we did the red carpet.
James
James
Patterson.
Patterson,
Yeah.
and most of the other people that came in as artists came in to sing, but they came in late. They didn't come in during the red carpet.
Right.
So they had this elaborate red carpet that
And
was,
I missed the red carpet too. Man, it was really nice,
man,
I
let me tell you
heard.
something. That red carpet stretched from the front door to the back door with a backdrop go. I mean, I had never in all my life seen anything like that. I got to give a shout out to Mr. Appointed. She did
Listen,
that.
she did a great job.
She did it.
She
And
and she continues to do a great job.
and she had over 60 to 70 radio announcers and radio servicers in that building. And I was like, I'm like, I felt like, and they acted like they act as though they knew me forever. What's your name? I said Kenya. All right, let's go to. And I was like, wow, you know. And I went, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going here by myself. Nobody I probably know is going to be here. Um, I don't, I'm nervous. I got there, and those
Mm-hmm.
people were like, you would have thought that knew each other forever. So, and they were like, hey, what's your station? And what's so you never know who you're meeting. You never know who's in the, it's just one guy in California. He owned 5 hip-hop stations. 5. How you own 5 hip-hop stations, sir? And it's internet, so, but I ain't gonna
But
hold you.
internet is truly the new wave anyways. I mean, apps, internet, that stuff is kind of the new wave. A lot of
Right,
people is not really interested in, turning their radio dial to this
right.
station and that station. So internet has become easy for people, and
To
I
do
I,
right.
I don't mind. I am on WOKB. This is a terrestrial radio station, but I'm also internet based.
Right.
Because of getting connected with the right people, God has allowed me some friendships and some family, like family that you wouldn't never I would have never thought that God will open up a door to be with. And so that's how now the live drive is syndicated in more than 25 other stations, and
Look at
that's
you.
that's due to
Relationship.
friendship and relationship. So brother Jay Williams, I give him a humongous shout out. Jay Williams is one of the
I love
hardest
him.
working people that I know in radio. He owns his own, and he's doing it. WJAY in Atlanta, and he gave me my first platform in Atlanta. I started that at the beginning of this year with Lady Drina Live Drive in Atlanta. And so I am on air every Friday and Saturday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. every Friday and Saturday in Atlanta, um, through Jay Williams' platform, which Jay Williams is on 25 different stations. So therefore, Lady Drina is
Is
now
on
on
25 different stations.
25 different stations. That's all due to relationship.
Yep. And I was telling Micah today, I say what people fail to realize is they're trying to get to XM, but they're not understanding that internet radio stations, by me being an underdog, I have to work harder. So what happens is I have to tweet harder, I have to promote harder, I have to share your music harder, and that's how you gain the exposure. But they're skipping over the underdog because they want to go up here, not knowing that, hey, let me go to her or them, because what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that my music is tweeted, the website, and they're going to work harder to
long
get my
as
music
a
out.
long as it's a tracking station that has BMI licenses, AFSCAP,
Right.
CSAC, whatever, all those different licenses. Long as it's one of those licensed stations, whether it's internet or terrestrial, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if they're small. It doesn't matter if they're big. If they're spinning you and they're licensed, you're gonna get paid. And so many people look for iHeartRadio or XM or Radio One to grab your music. Guess what? They may not grab your music faster than mom and pop. Mom and pop may grab your music right now and spin it, but they paying to spin.
This license got to get paid.
Come on, the license got to
This
get
license got to
paid.
get
They
paid.
pay. They paying for their music. You just got to do your research and make sure that you get your music out to people that are licensed. Just don't give your music to those that are not licensed. And that's all I would say. Because if they're licensed and they play you, then you're gonna get a benefit behind that if you have your stuff right. If
Yeah, a
you
lot of
if you got your paperwork right, let's say that. If you got your paperwork right and you got your stuff right, then you will reap the benefits, regardless if it's a mom and pop, large station, medium station, small station, internet station. You will reap from it.
Right, and these in all colleges and things like that, you guys got to get people that are underdogs, because those are the ones that are basically. I remember a young lady, a guy told me the other day. I say, hey, you put your song out. Won't you come on my show? He says, no, my marketer told me I have to start big first. I say, what? You have to start big first? All right then, So I watch every
Um,
day. I watch every day to see where that song is going.
well, this is one thing that I like to tell people, especially when I do showcases and panel discussions. One thing that I tell artists is, service your local stations first. Service your local
Local.
stations first. If you blow up locally, then you can probably blow up nationally. But if your local station won't take your music, then national ain't gonna take your music.
Listen, I went to oh Lord, the video place, the music place in New York, and I was there, and the young lady, she said, she said, I say, how can and I did, she was talking to me, and I said, you mind if I video this? She said, no. She said, listen, exposure, like you just said, brings our attention. There's a department that looks for your work, looks for the people that are spinning you. Watches Twitter, watches Instagram, watches
Create
all of these.
numbers. Yeah.
I, so people don't even understand, and I mean, we don't want to get in the industry, but people don't even understand that you can make money from streaming. Tell all your friends to go to Spotify and play your song. Tell all your friends to go say, listen, we're gonna have a national one day a week. We're gonna have y'all go to YouTube, and long as you set your YouTube up right for monetization, I need all y'all to look at my video. And then on this day, I need all my friends and family to go to Spotify if you got an account and play my music. So guess what? The royalties will come in. But a lot of artists, they don't have the knowledge base. Not saying they don't have. I don't want to say it like that because then they're gonna say I'm being rude. They're not familiar. Yeah, I'm trying to stay nice this year, 2020. We in quarantine.
All right. All right. Quarantine.
They're
Nice.
yeah, because I'd be like they don't. You know how I talk. I used to talk. I haven't changed,
Yeah. Yeah.
but a lot of times they miss out on so many different things and so many different um, arenas because they're trying to get to the big bone first.
Right.
You trying to get to the big league. How the first question is, how can I get on Kurt Franklin praise? First of all, nobody don't know you. You can't get to Kurt Franklin until somebody know you.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't walk in them door. They got four security checkpoints. You got to go in and one in, and then you got to go down the stairs and hit a coat. You don't just walk in that place. So before you can get to Kurt Franklin, you need to be sure that everybody on Sunday mornings playing your music. You need to make sure that everybody in Orlando know you. You need to make sure everybody, whatever radio station it is, and if you don't know who it is, find somebody to say, hey, Kenya, I know you connected to these people. Can I buy you a cup of coffee? Let's sit down and talk about this thing so I can get my music on some of these other radio stations. Because again,
Absolutely.
they don't understand there's only 10 slots. But with some favor, hey Drina, can you slide this in for me? This is a good song.
Right.
Somebody liked the song and they call back and say play this song. So now it's a popular demand.
And
So
see,
now
and
you
that's
gotta play
one
it
thing
again.
that I do here. Our music go through a lot of critique. It really does, and our audience is our main critiquers here. If the audience really like your music, they're vocal. Our audience is vocal, and they call in and they will say, "Oh, I like that," or "Play this again," or "Play that again." And so I aim. That's my aim when I take on artists and take on music. I like to pick music. If I hear the song and I want to hear it again, then I obviously know if someone else hear it, they're gonna want to hear
We're
it
gonna
again. But
hear
if
it
I hear
again.
the song and I'm immediately aggravated, annoyed, or just like, okay, they could have cut that whole intro off that song. You know what I mean? So we just,
Yeah.
it's just certain things that take place in judging, what song's supposed to
Song.
be here. And just like you got one song, say for instance, you got two songs that talks about God is good. I'll just say that as an example. I got four songs that is all about God is good. What's if it's Kirk Franklin is God is good? You got uh three other artists. I don't know their names, but three other artists that are God is good. Honestly, what happens because we are a reporting BMI station and we are governed under certain regulations when it comes down to music. Kirk would probably be the one played for the God is because of the name.
Right. And they don't understand that basically what
Of
happens
the
is
name.
you guys are monitored and you have to play a certain amount of songs in order for you guys to
In the
remain
A
BMI.
list.
Right. So in order to remain there, in order for you to keep your licensing for BMI ASCAP, you have to play a certain amount of songs. And it's the thing, everybody doesn't understand that. I had an artist tell me, she sent me her music. I said, listen, your intro too long. Oh, you can talk over it. I don't talk over nothing. It's on a clock. It's on a clock, child. We don't do that no more. It ain't a DJ in the back spinning no music no more. It's on the clock. We got a sheet that tell us where it's at. We turn it up and down. And next up on this, I said, I don't even have to touch my station for weeks because it's on the clock. I don't have to go into it. You set your commercials. You set your breaks. It doesn't work that
Everything
way.
is preset. Yeah,
So that's
preset.
what that's what artists don't understand, that it's no longer a disc jockey in front of me saying, and they're like pointing to me, that doesn't work like that anymore, because that's
Yeah.
why music should be between 3 to 3.5 minutes, because
Yeah,
when
no,
you look
no more than that. I mean, a lot of songs. Sometimes, depending on who the artist is and the message of the song, we can do over. Like think about Tasha Cobb's. Her, My Name is 8 minutes. That song is 8 minutes. If God by Casey J was 8 minutes. But they're established artists. They're established artists with number one songs. Both of those songs at 8 minutes hit number one
right, and what people fail to realize is on the back end, when you got that 3 6 9 minutes, so that's three songs that could have been played. So that means
in
they're gonna
that
play.
9 minutes.
So
Three
they're
songs.
gonna play one more song, then a commercial, because every 15 minutes you gotta throw a commercial in
You
there.
got
Because
to throw a
so what
commercial
happens
in.
is when people tell me, hey, talk over it. No, that's not the way that works. So what happens is there's a clock, and you have to have that thing timed, and then that commercial got to come in. Because guess what? They pay the cost to be the boss. Those commercials and advertising and sponsorships, I don't care if I got to say 15 times. This show is
Yes.
brought to you by Gillian and Co.
And then with what we do here at WOKB, we are a broadcasting station as well. So I'm a radio announcer, but just like how I used to be a broadcaster, we still have broadcasters here. So you take in the 4 o'clock hour, you have somebody who's paying for a 30-minute slot. So now you're only down to probably 4 or 5 songs within that hour because the rest is doomed, not doomed, but the rest is given over to ministry. And so that also is going to cut the musical time slot, but it doesn't phase us because the person that's paying for that 30-minute spot, they took care of that cost.
Right,
And
right.
so it's a lot of different aspects in
You have
radio
to follow it, right.
that people don't understand. Yeah.
Right. So when you're creating a song, I tell people, I say, listen, get to the grits and the gravy, get in, get out, stay up under 3 minutes, because guess what? I play a song 3 minutes and some seconds versus a song that's 5 minutes, which is gonna throw my clock off. Because what's gonna happen is when you throw that clock off, the next hour is not gonna actually
It's
flow
not going to come
correctly.
on properly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not gonna come on properly. And then if you got a mix, like let me tell you something, at 12 o'clock, that jam mix gonna come off, gonna go off. I'm gonna be at work.
Yeah, so our system here, we have our system is called, what is this? Apex. That's our new system
Right.
here, Apex. And Apex will when at the top of each hour, whatever is a before it, you can go over all you want, but whatever before it, it's gone. So if you choose to go over your hour, whatever over that hour is deleted. It automatically boots it out and it goes and jump into the next programmed hour. I
Yep.
actually love that feature. That keeps me from being late. Keeps me from
Yep.
being, off schedule. I love that. And so that's it's so much in radio that people just do not
Yeah.
grasp and do not understand. It's a lot of different things, and the guidelines, and especially with FCC, there.
See, we're not sanctioned by FCC because we're internet, so we don't have
See,
those guidelines that you guys
we
have.
are.
You got stricter guidelines. So
Yes, we got
so
stricter
we got stricter
guidelines.
guidelines than we have over here in
Hmm.
internet. But the thing is, I think that artists, this is now turning into a
Yeah.
conversation.
Yes.
But I think artists, you got to sit down with someone in radio and just say, listen, I'm gonna buy you some chilies, 3 for 10. Cause oh, 3 for 10. Somebody say glory. I ain't had a 3 for 10 since March. I'm gonna get your 3 for 10 and let me pick your brain. Now after that, you have to pay me a little money. But for the first edition, I'll go for a 3 for 10 so that you can get the information that you need because a lot of artists are jumping into deep water and they're drowning. They're putting
Yeah.
songs out and
I,
no
and
one
I
knows
think
about them.
because, you yourself is not an objective person to your own music. You
Right.
need to get unbiased opinions of your music. Can I say that? Unbiased opinions of your music. Do random listening sessions before you go and put out, the song. But get people like that's in radio to be a part of it. Get the promoters that would maybe want to book you. Find people that can completely, not your yes people. Let me just say that. Don't have a bunch of yes people in your business, because yes by them don't mean yes by somebody else. Have complete objective people that can just really tell you, even no, or that song needs a little more tweaking, or you could have sung that better.
Yeah. Don't ask me because don't ask me.
Yeah,
I made
I've listen. I
I
have
made people
been
cry, so
told
don't ask me.
that I am too critical sometimes to people's music and songs, and I have learned how to word things properly to keep from shattering hearts and feelings and dreams, because that's not the intent. It's only because I love people. I don't want you wasting your time or wasting your
Right.
money,
You
because a
know,
lot of times we go out and we pay all this money for a whole album when your single wasn't even good.
listen. Let me tell you. The first time I ever sat in on the live session, and I asked the guy, I say, "Why are you asking me?" He says, "Listen." He sent me an email. He say, "Listen, I want you to sit in on the listening party." And with the quarantine, I said, "Okay." He did a listening party on a conference call. Doug Jackson. I don't know if you know Doug Jackson. Doug Jackson. He has some of the biggest people in radio. My nerves is bad. He said, Kenya, are you there? I didn't know what to say because you had Robert Hussein, you had all these people that was on this radio show. And I'm like, I text him, I say, why am I here? Why am I here? He's like, man,
Because your opinion matters.
and he's like, but you get what I'm saying? Like you have some of the biggest names in the industry. And I'm like, um, sir, I'm scared. And he's like, no, man. He say, I love you, your opinion. And I gave my opinion. I said, listen, the song is dope. I love the song. It had me feeling some type of way, and that's hard, to make me feel some type of way.
Right.
You got to chisel that in with Kenya because she a lot hard. For me to raise my hand and say, you have to chisel. So that was and I tell people all the time that now we have learned to make it through the virtual world. We don't have to
Yeah.
go nowhere. I don't have to go nowhere to do anything. You can get a conference call, get most of the radio announcers in your area to hear this song, send the song over to the radio announcers. So once they've listened to it, they automatically have it and ready to add it to their platform. So
Exactly.
basically, a lot of times these people are putting out music, but they're overlooking the ones that have the knowledge base. But listen, you see people on flyers saying they basically sit on panels and do stuff, but you're overlooking them. And then I'm sitting looking like I sure want to help them, but I just don't want to intrude, and then they thinking I think I know everything, and I feel bad
Yeah.
because I'm
And
like,
then another thing that I see is when people have these platforms where you have a panel discussion. One thing that I've noticed is that artists do not show up. Artists do not show up to these panel discussions. Myself, Glenn Allgood, um, um, Lord, I'm about to mess up names, so I'm not going to say any more names. I can't think. It was a bunch of us on a panel for the Eddie Awards in Jacksonville, Florida. We did a whole panel discussion for 4 or 5 audience.
and that's it.
It
But
was a
they want to sing though,
panel of us, but then everybody showed up to the concert. Everyone showed up to the
and don't have no
concert.
clue.
They showed up to the functions. They showed up to the after parties. But when it was time to learn and get the information that you need to help better your musical platforms, you not there.
And
You invest in
they're on the other
everything but
now.
the business part.
And
You know, music, some people want the industry, the music that we do, because we are in gospel, they want it to be ministry only. It's not just ministry only. Ministry is what we do when we're doing it. But
right,
there's a business aspect that you need to know. You
right,
have to know these things, because if you don't, you would be one of those people that don't get the spins, don't get the different things that you may need to advance your career.
right.
And so those type of meetings like that, it's worth being at. You're investing in yourself. I wouldn't be the radio personality and the announcer that I am if I hadn't invested in myself. I traveled many places on my own money, my own dollar.
Touch your neighbor,
I
touch your neighbor.
started radio with my own money. I was paying $6,000 a year just to be on radio. That was out of my own pocket. I didn't have sponsors. I didn't have people that just mysteriously came and put some money in my hand. I didn't have all that kind of stuff. I worked. I worked, and that was my way of doing it. And when I would travel and I go meet and I do this and do that, that was out of my own pocket. I invested into where I wanted to go.
And it's paying off.
And by the grace of God. Because I
But that's
tell
the
you, I
listen. This
tell
is
you,
the
it's
thing,
His
and we
grace.
all have we and people think that traveling to these different award shows. I tell people all the time. Um,
We
Someone
don't
said
get
to me,
paid to go. Don't no check come with them awards. We just get the award now.
but we get the exposure.
And we
But what
get the
happens
exposure.
and that relationship? I'm telling you, when I went to Atlanta, I'm still gonna manifest off that because I was in the room with some of the best, and you can still go on right now and hit them on the radio. Some of the best radio announcers throughout the United States, and they were all. I'm talking about. We all sitting on the couch, all hanging out. Saying, "Hey, where y'all want to go? Let's go to Buffalo Wild. Let's go to Walk." I'm like, "Wow." So you don't know. They're like, "Hey, what's your name?" I'm like, "My name Kenya." And they're like, "Let's go on over to Waffle House." I'm like, "Y'all ain't finna have me fat fool in
Yeah. And
Atlanta."
and that that's
You
that's
know.
another thing that I
So
liked
that's
about
the
the
thing.
Stellas too. The Stella platform is like that too, because they have amazing business meetings where industry
Right.
who's of the who's and the best of those who's are always there. So I really try to encourage people to be a part of stuff like that at least once in your lifetime. Once. You don't
Right.
have to
Right.
do it every time, but investing, going, becoming a member, going, sitting for every meeting and get the knowledge and the information that you need. The most information that I ever received was going to the Stella Awards Masters Training. They had a master training at the Stella Awards where we had Donald Lawrence there. You had The founder, Don Jackson, was there. You
Right.
had Miss I forget how to pronounce her name, Miss La um oh, Sybil. I know Sybil knows her name. Sybil was even there. It was just a whole bunch of industry who's and who's. The young lady that's over the dubs, she was there. I mean, it was
Ebony
everybody that was
was
in the
there.
mainstream, Radio One, iHeart platform. All those people was here in this meeting teaching us. And the only people I seen really at the meeting was more radio announcers, but they had
Great
it
artist.
open for artists. Artists could
Right.
have came, and it
That's
wasn't
like
that many artists there, and it was so much information. They was telling us different things on how um, Congress passed laws to help music, get the funds and the money that it's supposed to
right.
have.
All that hidden money
It
out
was
there. It's a lot
all
of money out there that
right.
artists is not collecting. And another thing is, I learned the first year
Yes.
about 5 years ago at GMWA. Let me tell you, now that room, Gospel Announcers Alliance room, that's a room.
I went to the
That
one in Atlanta.
now I went to three, and then I love Atlanta. And the
Yeah.
first year I went there, you sit over in this room and you have, like you said, Radio One, Yes Lord Radio, this radio, that radio,
You
and
got
it
everybody, the
and
who's and who's.
but the thing I learned about it is the artist that came through that room was so humble. I'm not talking about independent artists. I'm talking about when Kurt walked through that door. He walked through that door being
Greeting everybody.
humble
Yeah.
because he says, "I need y'all." Because without y'all, ain't no us. Because without us playing your music, you just selling music at your trunk. So
Yeah.
I'm talking about with all and every artist that came through them doors, walked in, giving us items, shaking our head, taking, hey, you want a selfie? I'm like, bro, like, wait a minute. And they walk up to the podium and say, we need you. We're putting this album out. We want to make sure that our music is on your panel. So people fail to realize that radio announcers are really good friends to have. And I
Yeah.
done held you hostage a whole hour. We supposed to have been 20 minutes, Trina. That's
That's all
why
right. It's
I know you.
fine.
I know you got congratulations on your daughter graduating. I saw that. So you got
Listen,
one more, right?
I have three kids,
You
and
got
my
one more to
oldest is
graduate.
I got two more to
George.
graduate.
Oh
No,
Lord.
I got two more. I got my oldest daughter is 18, my youngest daughter is 16, and George is 13. So I got a long time. George don't graduate till 2026, so that's a long ways away from here.
Well, you gonna be. Hopefully, we don't have to have homeschooling anymore. Hopefully, we'll get past this.
Actually, I'm okay with it. I am literally thinking about keeping my kids for homeschool. I'm loving the interaction with my kids. I am loving the time that we can spend, and I know that they're safe at home.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just know that they're safe, and they can get their work done too. And I mean, they get their work done. I'm like a little drill sergeant sometimes, but they work hard. And my oldest daughter, she graduated. Just she graduated with 4 honors. Man, I didn't even know what a sum cum laude was until they sent it in the mail, and they were like top of her class. I'm like,
Oh,
what? She the top of her class? That is amazing.
that's
It's one of the
amazing.
highest honors that you can get in high school. And that's because your GPA is over 4.0.
You better say
That's
it. Look at
amazing.
God. They cutting the lights on Drina, saying, "Drina, what you doing?"
Yeah, they want me, as it probably means I need to leave.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna let you go. Tell everybody how they can find you.
So listen, guys, y'all can follow me at Lady Drina Live Drive WOKB. I am on WOKB. Otis Flowers is a mess. I love you, Otis. I love you, Otis. But you guys can follow me at WOKB. I'm live every day on radio from 3 to 7 p.m. every day, 3 to 7 p.m. at WOKB. And I'm in Atlanta. at every Friday from 2 to 3. Every Friday and Saturday from 2 to 3. And that's on WJAY Indie One Radio Atlanta. And so I'm grateful, man. God is just, he's amazing. Listen, y'all make sure y'all vote for me and Kenya. Me and Kenya are we are part of the Spin Awards 2020. Whoop whoop. Let's do it. Let's bring it home, Florida. And so
Listen,
Kenya's, and guess what? We're not even competing. We're not even the same categories. So y'all can vote for her with peace. You can vote for me in
even
peace.
peace.
And let's just vote and help us bring it home. Go to thespinawards.com/vote.
Slash
Thespinawards.com/vote
vote. Yes.
and vote for us. And mine is going to say Lady Drina Live or Lady Drina Drina. Amen. And hers is going to say
KRTG
K.
radio.
That's it right
KRTG
there.
radio.
There you go. I was finna
Keeping it
just
real
say
in the
keeping it real.
gospel.
That's all I was finna say because I
You
was
know,
trying
it's
to get
keeping it
them
real in the
letters
gospel.
in. That wasn't working right
Keeping
then.
it. Listen. You know, listen. You know, Otis is actually that song that's being sung in my intro. That's Otis.
Listen, I love Otis. Otis and his brother Robert Flowers, they my family. Robert opens up my live drive. If anybody has ever heard my intro, I got an intro that's for Lady Drina Live Drive, and it's Robert Flowers. He has done all of my intros since I've been on radio, and absolutely amazing. I tell you that family just singing family. I mean, when I grow up, I want them singing family too. Hey, Jay Carson, you got to get Jay Carson on and do one of these lives with him. He's
All
in
right.
radio down there in Daytona, man. That's my brother. When I tell you we support each other, he's in radio in Daytona doing a great job. He got a Father's Day special that he's doing this Sunday, and he's having his own father. His dad is going to be his special guest. So y'all pray for me because it's going to be my second year without my dad. And
And
so
I was
Father's
definitely
Day is
praying for
always
you.
a little different, honey. It's different these days and these parts. But I'm grateful for the time I've had with my dad. I'm a daddy's girl, so I get my feelings sometimes during these times.
Yep. But we yet praying for you, Drina. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Drina, I'm gonna let you go because I see you walking out the door, and I like 20 minutes turned into over an hour. I want to
I
apologize.
know. That's all right. That's all right. To God be the glory in high. I
We
love
we
you,
go, we have to come
girl.
back and have a panel right here. I'm going to bring
Yeah,
some
we're
people
gonna we
on,
gonna have a real industry talk. The next conversation is gonna be a real industry talk.
and we're going to allow people to come on with us to how to talk because I can bring people in and out. So we're
Yeah,
going to
let's
have an
do it.
industry talk, and we're going to do that right here so that we can help the people. Let's help the
I want
people
I want to
tonight.
help your church. Help the church.
All right, so Trina, get on out of there. Drive safe. I love you. Thank you for coming on.
All right, babe. Bye.
So listen, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in again. There's so much going on right now in the world, and I know everybody's saying, Kenya, you haven't addressed anything. You're right. I haven't addressed it. I haven't talked about anything, but that's okay. Bless my heart. Bless my heart. So listen, I want to let you guys know that if you want to become a proud sponsor, like Gillian and Co., if you want to become a proud sponsor, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to tell you how you become a proud sponsor, how you can be announced throughout this broadcast. Um, as you know, my proud sponsor of the radio show is Gillian and Co. They are one of my biggest supporters, and they pay the cost. When I say pay the cost, to be the boss. So again, that is Gillian and Co. She pays the cost to be the boss. Hot Topics pop-up show. They do more than just taxes. And again, we want to give a shout out to Sylvia. And again, if you would like to get exposure, there you go right there. If you're looking to grow your brand or advertise your product, let Hot Topics give you some exposure. Listen, I held you guys longer than I'm supposed to. This show is supposed to only be 20 minutes. 20 whole minutes. Um, and what actually happened was we went over. We went way over, y'all. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. We went way, way, way over. So again, with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. It's 8:19. I got some things to do. I'll be right back here Thursday night with two great interviews. We have MJ. MJ will be in the house um, on MJ will be in the house this Thursday night, and also Wanda Patterson. So Wanda Patterson and MJ will be in the house this week on Thursday night. I know Gerard Home does a show, but catch me on the replay or catch me live. It's all up to you. Again, I want to thank you for watching. Like it says on the screen, Hot Topics Pop-Up Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all in the middle. All right, I gotta go, guys. Much love. We out.